Welcome back to the show, guys. Thanks for checking out episode 53 with our new addition to the shop, Connor Marshall. Check it out. He's a new tattooer. We're excited to have him on board. We had a very, very interesting talk all the way from sexual preferences to, well, he's only 18, so he's an 18-year-old kid, but he's got a lot of cool stuff happening in that little area. Check this episode out. I think you're going to get a lot out of this one. Thanks, guys. Welcome. You're listening to the 27th Hour with Junior
and Dre Rocker.
Get ready, strap in, and hang on. Okay, we're on the right track. So you good? You guys find the game? Welcome back to the show. In Double DDs.
In Double DDs.
It's kind of like Indeed, but like way better. In Double DDs.
Double DDs is new. Double DDs.
Fucking really. That was weird, man. I caught that quick.
I like that good intro.
Yo, up in the house.
Yeah.
Connor, what's going on?
Nothing much. There's a lot going on, actually. I don't know why I said that.
Connor Marshall.
Yes.
Your life has taken a dramatic change here in the last, what?
3 months.
3 months?
3 almost. Yeah.
We'll get to that. Connor, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Utah.
Where at?
So, I mean, we kind of moved around a little bit at first. I was born in California, which is originally where my parents are from. And then we moved to Montana. Like in the
Cali to Montana, bro?
Fuck.
Wow.
I'm serious. But I was like 2, so I don't even like remember.
Right. What was that? Work? Dad work?
Well,
mom
my
work?
grandpa, he was actually sick, so my dad moved out there to like help him and everything. And fuck, where we moved was like middle of nowhere.
You remember the town?
Yeah, I actually do. It was just like nothing.
You don't remember the name of it?
I think I don't actually.
Okay.
I
love Montana. That's all.
Yeah, my sister hated it. She's such a city girl.
Really?
Yeah, she was in high school at the time, so she was, so like, like just going from like the city to like country, she was like, this shit sucks.
And that's dramatic, bro.
Yeah,
it's not like that's country.
She said the only things you can do is get in trouble and work. Like that's
it.
Smoke weed.
That's it. Hallelujah.
Yeah, she told us like there's this huge barn that all the high schoolers would go hang out at. And she thought it was the stupidest shit ever.
That sounds like a great time, Connor.
Just hanging out at a barn.
So Connor comes to Utah. How oldish?
Around like 5'4".
4 or 5. You come to Utah. What city?
Yeah. In Layton.
Layton.
But
God, I love that. Layton.
Yeah, Layton.
Connor, if you're from here, it's Layton.
Layton. I know.
Goddamn Layton, kid.
Goddamn Layton.
Get it right, son. You hear this, Layton? I love
Layton.
That. It's like we see Evanston.
Evanston. Yeah.
Okay, so you grow up here.
Yeah.
You go to school here in Layton. You're doing your
Layton.
What's how many brothers, sisters?
I have a younger brother and then my sister who's older.
Cool.
By like 14 years.
So there's the 3 of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The forgotten child.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of psychology to that.
Yeah.
When did you find out you're an artist, Connor?
Mm-hmm.
And you're the newest addition to this piece of this puzzle. When did you find out that you were an artist? When did that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, all we really had, like, because we didn't really have much money, so I just had like this box of crayons.
Crayons? You say crayons?
Crayons.
Oh my God! But you say Layton?
Layton.
I love you, Connor.
I'm a bit of a hybrid.
I love it. It's everywhere.
Yeah, we just had like this huge. I remember it's just like this huge like container full of like random art supplies.
Yeah,
they're just like shit you find like on the floor, and I remember just really loving that, and I didn't really like. It just wasn't. It was just in its purest form, and it was really cool because I just drew with crayons.
God, and they're hard to draw with.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's the hardest medium there is.
Crayons, yeah,
that
for sure.
And watercolor are like,
oh my God, yeah.
They're a mess.
Well, that was the second thing I learned. Like the first paint I ever learned was watercolor.
God, that's tough shit.
That shit was it was real tough.
So Connor knows he's an artist young. How old do you think? You're young, right?
Like,
as long as you remember?
Yeah, definitely as long as I remember.
That's how I was, too.
That's how I always I just was always drawn to that.
Good way to pass the time, huh?
Yeah, it was nice.
So you're an artist. When did you have in your mind, when did it come to in your brain to even attempt to make a living at art?
I think
in any way, or did you have an idea?
I just knew that I wanted to do art and it's like something creative in some way. I know I wanted to be like a baker for like 2 seconds. And then I just was like, I really like art. I want to do this the rest of my life. I didn't really take it too seriously until like middle school.
How come?
Just because, I don't know. I didn't really know like you could do a career out of art. I never really heard about that. It was always just like teacher, firefighter, like baker.
Your mom and dad supported the idea though too.
Oh,
It sounds like they just
yeah.
let you roll and do your thing, right?
Yeah, my dad is super creative, and my mom actually was a dancer. And so
Like what? Like ballet or like what?
she kind of did a mixture. She like
Dope.
when she was really into that in high school, and she got accepted into this really like prestigious dance school. But because she immigrated here from Nicaragua, and so her parents didn't let her because they just didn't understand. They were like, "You're not going to make money doing this."
So she just let it go.
Yeah, so she always supported me in like those like types of things because I think she would have wanted that for herself. So
Like follow your dreams, Connor.
Yeah.
You speak as if she's not around.
no, she's
Connor, God, you scared me.
she's very much still around.
Holy shit. Whew. I pulled that. I assumed there, bro.
No. She's very much still around. She's still around.
So you've had this idea that you're like, man, I want to be creative and make a living at it, right?
Yeah, I just knew I wanted to be rich and an artist. I didn't really have any other idea of what to do about that until like I learned about different like art careers you can go into. But
So school helped you obviously hone your craft and find out like, dude, I'm an artist. Like,
yeah, and I think it took like some really good like art teachers to do that.
absolutely.
Because they were really hard on me, and I really appreciate that though, because I learned a lot and I grew a lot, especially just because they could see like how passionate I was about it.
So they kind of help push you a little bit.
Yeah.
Help
Yeah.
you. Connor, you seem to be, I've only known you, 3 months, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Something like
something
that.
around there.
You're a young man. You're 18 years old.
Yes, I am.
18 years old. This story is almost triumph. Like this is epic to me.
Really?
For people. Yes, absolutely. You're 18 years old and you're working in a tattoo shop. Let's break this down. That is crazy, bro.
Really?
You're a young man of obvious adversity, right?
Yeah.
You stare things in the face that you're uncomfortable with
Mm-hmm.
and you go through them.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on any of that?
Yeah, for sure. I think growing up, and I mean, I'm really open about my sexuality and stuff, like growing up gay and like whatever. And luckily my parents were just always the type of people that didn't care. And I think that had to do a lot with my dad. Like he had a gay friend named Ron. Didn't know he was gay. Looking back, I'm like, that dude was so gay.
Now you know.
I'm like, me and that dude were straight up having dance battles, and I was like, this dude is so gay. But he was the funniest man I've ever met, like just so unapologetically himself, and I thought that was super cool. And I think it's awesome too. Like I just was raised around a lot of women who, I mean, they already have adversity against them. But my sister, she was raised with the thinking like, you can do anything a man can do. Like her dad was like, you can do anything a man can do.
Straight up.
Like, don't fucking let anybody tell you that. And now she bosses men around for her job.
What does she do?
She's an interior designer, so she goes and yells at all the like
Bad bitch.
workers.
Good. That's dope.
She owns like a $500,000 company, so she's like a complete boss. Like, and it just always has been, even before she owned her company. Like,
Good for her.
like growing up with her, and like she really raised me and my brother, like, because she took care of us a lot because my parents were working and stuff. But yeah, she did a lot for us, and so I took on a lot of her values.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
She obviously taught you seriously just to do things, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So you're a young man, you're gay, correct?
Yeah.
Or whatever the phrase is.
I guess technically it'd be like more pansexual.
Pansexual.
The more I
Okay.
look into it, it's just like I'm more like really anybody
Open.
open. Yeah. I've always been that way, so I think that's the better category. But I don't like the label.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. I like that you're you and you're open.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool, man. But I'm just trying to get the point across that you're a young man, and that's scary
It is.
for a man to go through that. I would imagine. I would be terrified of that.
It's a lot, and like especially growing up in Utah, it's really difficult for people to understand. And I think you just have to, like, I'm glad my sister really taught me a lot of her values, which is like she doesn't give a fuck. Like, and like she does not care, and she's always just like exuded that and led by example rather than telling me that. So it was really cool, and like, yeah, you just really can't like give into people's energy like that. And I think because it creates a lot of like insecurity, and
Yeah.
I definitely fell into that for a minute, and then and then I kind of just was like, I don't care. Like, once I got into high school, I was like, it doesn't fucking matter.
So it was high school time-ish,
yeah,
junior high-ish when you
yeah.
announced it.
I definitely announced it to my friends first. Like, I didn't really tell my parents because I didn't really feel the need to. So my friends definitely knew around like high school, junior high, and then like once I started dating my boyfriend now, I told my parents. I was like, oh, I'm actually going on a date with a boy. So yeah, so
It's the same Adam that you,
Aaron?
or Aaron. I'm sorry, Aaron. I apologize.
Yeah, it's the same.
Damn. Cool.
Yeah, so
Better not be Adam. Aaron gonna kick his ass.
I guess that was only a year ago anyway. Sorry about that,
Aaron's
Adam.
like, who's this
Sorry
Adam
about that, Aaron. I'm building this up for a really. This is a thing, Connor. You really.
Yeah.
I've learned more in the last 3 months having you around me than I've learned in a long, long, long time.
Really?
Yeah, man. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But not probably super deep. So we'll just go back to how you came here. So we're looking for a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
We've went through a few things. We've had people in and out. Kind of. I want to get somebody here that's here, wants to be here.
Yeah.
How'd you find out about us?
So I kind of just looked up on Facebook one day at work because like I wasn't really having any luck with any of the places I was going to.
You went to their studios and asked them? Is that
Yeah, I went to maybe a couple. The first one, they kind of just like shot me down. And they're like, well, we'd love to see you like come back with like an improved portfolio. And I was like, okay,
the
cool.
portfolio was the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then the second place, they were super chill. I mean, their apprentice was there already, and they just were kind of like, it was weird. It was a weird vibe that I got. But the same thing. They just like kind of critiqued my portfolio and gave me advice on what to do, which I was super chill with. I was like, whatever. And then I was like, and then I couldn't find any other place because I probably called almost majority of the tattoo shops, and they're like, not accepting apprentices right now. Like, I was like, okay. I then like just like looked it up on Facebook, and I saw you guys had an ad, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll try this place. Like, what's the harm in doing that? Like, I'll just go get my portfolio like critiqued again. And you guys were actually the first place that pushed that aside, and we're like, well, we want to meet you. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And you guys were very nice about my portfolio, and it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. It was a lot more than the art and tattooing, and I could definitely feel that like right off the bat. So
Yeah, it's definitely. I have a very different approach on everything, right?
Yeah.
People are no different for me, right? So you come in. Were you terrified when you came in here, when you met us all up there? Was that a terrifying thing for you? Because you seemed so chill.
I have this like technique I do. I just kind of like it's gonna be okay. I'm like the worst they can say is no. And so I was really like nervous to drive up just because I didn't know what I was going into.
Sure.
And I mean, you never do. So I was just talking myself down and being like, "You're good, dude." Like, and I think I always try to just have like a more chill like attitude once I go into things, because I feel like it's easier for me to just like be like, okay, and like kind of feel out the situation.
Yeah.
Because I'm like in a more like calm state of mind.
Yeah, just come in and be you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've already done one of the gnarliest things a man could do, in my opinion, right? That's intense to do what you've done. So everything seems to flow a little easier for you, where you're like, hey, I'm just going to put this out here. See what you think about it. I felt that vibe when you came in here.
Yeah.
And I think in the first few seconds, I even asked you, you said hell yes. And the portfolio comes out once again.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk to you, right? So I get to know Connor really well.
Yeah, and I think that was super awesome, because I think since you are working in such close quarters with these people, I think you need to get to know them more than like their portfolio, because I don't know. I just felt a lot of ego in the other places I went, and I didn't feel that here at all.
Thanks.
So it's really nice.
Well, and like it goes both ways, right?
Absolutely.
Because I'll dish it back too if I get it.
Absolutely.
So you came very calm, easy, open, and very honest about everything. I was pretty jacked on that. We don't get a lot of that. There's a lot of everything else in the world.
Yeah.
As soon as you left, we had the idea. Like, it was immediate. We're like, yeah, I'm down. This kid's dope. I love his.
Cool.
I like your attitude. I like how forward you are.
Mm-hmm.
But chill, very different. You're a different kid, man. I really enjoyed the interaction we had.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided we're going to hire you.
Yeah.
We'll let you know you come. You start doing your stuff.
Right.
How was this experience for you when we tell everybody kind of quickly just how the experience was for you.
It was really interesting just because I didn't know anything about anything. So it was like going in with nothing. And so I kind of just came the first day and I was like really open to learn everything. And I wanted to get like a structure down of like how everything worked. And I definitely learned a lot too, because I mean, over this past 3 months, I feel like I've learned so much about myself artistically and like how I am with people and just like learning so much. Like, and I feel like I've felt so much growth because of it. And yeah, it was like observing, and it was a lot different too. It was just like, because you're with people a lot, so you also have to learn how to socially interact. And so it was just a really like unique perspective on art, I think. That's how I took it, because I mean, the art classes I take are so like pompous and like, they're like, why is this like, why do they slam a basketball with like graphite on this paper? I'm like, I don't know, like, and so it felt a lot more real here. I'm like, this is like art. Like, this is, you're giving someone joy. I think that's the purest form of art to me.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I know when I trained you, or lack thereof, right? I have a very unique way of doing that too.
You do.
I want to see with little instruction
Yeah.
what people do. That's
Absolutely.
how I've always been, even in the line world, right? Just
Absolutely.
Leaders and people and whoever is will show who they are quickly.
Yeah.
When they have no direction. So I did that on purpose with you, man. I wanted to see what you would do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I could frustrate you. I want to see if I could get you to leave. That was really the goal.
Yeah.
I want you to leave as quickly as we can so we can just move on, right?
Absolutely.
So I give you just simple instructions. Just be here, check us out, flow, check it,
Right.
done. No more rules, right?
Yeah.
How long did it take for you got really frustrated? And then we'll go through that little quick process.
I think
Is that like a month or so?
probably, but even like in my most frustrated, I think it was more just like, because I hate feeling ignorant on like anything. So I think because I felt like super ignorant about what I was doing, I was like, fuck, like, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yep.
And then those moments where I'd mess up and I'm like, okay. And then, but I really appreciated your teaching, because now it taught me to like think for myself. And I'm so like freshly 18, I'm so fresh of like learning in a classroom setting.
Right.
That I've never really experienced any like other form of learning other than that.
Dude, that's why I was another thing I gravitated toward was you're very easy to work with, right?
Yeah.
So I knew throwing you to the wolves kind of that you could
Yeah.
you would figure it out one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So I was impressed by how I remember the one day, right? You're like, I want to do this. I want to do that. You started pushing,
Yeah.
right? So what happens? A lot of valuable lessons I think we learned together, right?
Yeah,
was
absolutely.
you wanted to do the fake skin quickly.
Oh, yes.
And so I
Yeah.
say, have at it, go for it, have fun. And you fucking struggled and hated it and was pissed.
I was pissed. That genuinely was like the most aggravating thing I've ever done. It was so messy. Like, I didn't have a plan for anything. Like, I just didn't know. I didn't know, like I didn't have my set of like, okay, like when I do fake skin, I need it to be this way. I didn't have like items that would help make it a lot easier, like a lot like cleaner, so it's not like ink everywhere.
Yep.
And so it just was like chaos in the purest form, and it pissed me off so much because I was like, I don't know what the
I remember that night very vividly.
yeah.
And you're here, you shouldn't know anything, right?
Absolutely.
I know that.
Absolutely.
I know that. So I let you be, and I let you figure it. I was really interested to watch you grow. And we had a big talk, and I'm like, what happened here? And we broke it down. You forced, you made a move. You said, I want to do this, so I let you do it. And you're like, I get it. I get it.
I was like,
I'm ready to just tell me what, let's go. And then we started learning.
Yeah.
You quickly learned, man. I have a problem with I wanted to do differently with you. I don't want to give you a chore list, right? So if you give people a chore list, I'm trying to help everybody with the idea of how this works. It's really effective.
Right.
It worked really, really well with you. No chores. I want to see what you'll do. Right? So I thought that was so cool. I don't want to give you a list. You're just going to bang that list out and bounce. If you don't have that, you want to be part of this and not even, you just want to do everything that we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So I think that worked really well with you.
I think so too. And I think like now, I mean, my first like official appointment is tomorrow.
Congratulations.
And I'm very excited. I have 2 people coming in tomorrow. But it also really helped like when I'm scheduling people, because I knew what I needed to ask, like what I didn't know. And it really helped me to like, I was like, oh, I already know how to do this. I already have like a course of action of how I do things. And so it really helped me to like schedule people and I'm still going to learn a ton tomorrow. And it's crazy because it's like a never ending thing. But I think because I've been doing this for like, 3 months, I'm like, this is a never ending thing. And so I just always need to be open to learning and just honest. And I think that's a super awesome value to have.
I think you're going to do great, man. And I know even 3 months it's pretty quick to turn you.
It is.
You're beyond ready. I'm impressed. I'm super impressed with everything you do, man. I really am.
Thank you.
I was happy to see that you challenged me up there one day.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
That was I think that was a cool little relationship bonding moment between us.
We have that, man.
Yeah.
And I think the whole team shares this, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
because I just want to talk to you guys, right? So we're singing a song and the end bomb come on, and I blasted right along with the song as I sang. And I've never in my life ever been checked like that before, especially by an 18-year-old kid, right? He's like, easy on the end bomb. And I will never forget how I reacted to that. And I turned to him defensively, unbelievably wrong, and like chewed his ass and like, you fucking worry about you, bro. I'm chill the fuck out. Like went off defensive, completely not who the fuck I am in my heart. And it took me a couple weeks to process all that and apologize to you, because I actually commend that you had, you're not afraid to say something to me apparently that could be super scary like that. And B, that you just did that, man. I think that's really cool. And you did it in a good way. So I'm learning from you these things, right?
Right.
It's ignorant to say the word. It's just in a song. Totally stupid. But I respected that for sure. That was just a cool lesson that I learned, that you never know, who's in the room, who's offended.
Yeah.
I don't want that vibe up there either, but
Absolutely.
it's really not necessary. So I commend you for doing that.
I think I'm really, again, back to my sister, homegirl will call any bitch out. She doesn't care who you are. And just growing up seeing that, and growing up with knowing that I'm like, I feel like I'm a little different than everyone else. Like, I like men. And it just like, that's how I feel like the best way to tackle things is. But I definitely like how we had to talk about it, and we just really grew. Like, our friendship definitely grew, and I think that's super awesome. And I think a lot of friendships don't go through that. I think either it's just like there's a lack of openness, so then it just drops. And I really commend you for your openness and willingness to just be like, you know what, I was wrong. Because I definitely learned a lot from that too. Because
It's the hardest thing I ever did, Connor.
It's hard to say when you're wrong. That takes a lot of balls, I think.
It was really, really rough.
And I'm learning to do that too. And I think that's super awesome that we can both learn from each other in different ways.
I agree, man. I love having, so I've always had women here. It's always been just girls every time.
Yeah.
I like a guy in here to help me. It helps kind of. It's been a really good thing, man. I really have enjoyed the lessons I'm learning. The communication, man. I'm learning. Communication is so key, right?
Absolutely.
It's so crucial. What can you give to anybody that's coming up through this and really struggling, and whether it be with this, that, or that? Like, do you have any advice for younger dudes that are like tripping, trying to get in tattooing, whatever?
Actually, I got a DM from this girl today, and she was just asking, and I just said, I was like, you know what? I just explained what I did. I was like, I called, and I asked, and I really just put myself out there. And I think that can be said with anything. Like, you just have to be unapologetically yourself and just do it. Like, there's no like ifs, ands, or buts. You just kind of got to jump for it. And the time frame it took from me starting on my portfolio to me deciding I wanted to do tattoos was a very short time frame. I was in the car and I was like, I want to do tattoos. And Aaron was like, okay, that was so random, but cool.
So where were you starting now?
And so I started my portfolio, and it was really, and so I think having that persistence and having that ability to just put yourself out there and just ask, and really just like be like, I literally called almost every tattoo shop in Layton, and like just like the areas I felt would be better for me to work at, and asked. I truly, like, I think that's what all you have to do is just ask and put yourself out there and be unapologetic.
Do you feel like anybody was kind of holding back on you because of what's going on, because of your sexuality? Do you feel that was a thing with anybody?
I don't know. they didn't really give me a chance to like really talk about myself. It was all just my portfolio. And I think, but in my portfolio, I had a gay pride flash that I did.
That's right.
And so I don't know how, if that influenced anything. I think they more just gave me like critique on my work and how I can improve and how they wanted to see more, which is a perfectly fine critique. I don't mind that, but it just was weird. Like, because I've never done tattoos.
Right.
I'm a painter, so like jumping into tattoos, it's a completely different ball game. And
that's where I think everybody drops the ball on everybody hiring, right?
Right.
We're hiring a human being. I want to hire a good person.
Absolutely.
I'm certain your art's perfect, right? We looked at your art later. It's just fine. Your art's great, man.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to get to know somebody and how they're going to be with people and how they interact with you, not just portfolio sucks, man.
Yeah.
I really think, in my opinion, it's way more biased than you think. If you don't fit it as you walk through the door in one way or another, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Regardless of how good of an artist you are. I think that's really strange, man. Because we did a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
A whole bunch. We had a really, really good one. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you guys told me about that.
We should have filmed. Yeah, I've seen it all now. But I've seen it and I felt it, man. I've been with everybody up there trying to find the right person. And so whatever you got, whatever you're doing, man, keep doing that. And I just know in your heart, it's just you.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can just be who you are, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you say to people. Just be you.
Truly, I think that's the best way. I've had a moment in my life where I wasn't myself, and I was miserable. I don't know why anybody would want to go through that for a long period of time. I think I learned from a younger age that it's better to be yourself, and it's better to just accept who you are and own what you say. And if you say something wrong, apologize and just go on through life and not have too much shame. And I feel like I hold a lot of that. So that's definitely a life lesson I'm learning right now.
Dude, you called me out, and I've never have grown men call me out before, like fighting on the right of way. I've never ever had that. It checked me so hard, man. I was surprised. I was like, holy shit. It really caught me off guard, man. And I was like, and I even knew right then, I was like, don't fucking, but I did. I defended myself, and that's my number one rule, man. I don't do that. So I appreciated that. Jade does it with me. She tells me just, this open communication we have here is just beautiful, man. And I want to keep that going. I want to build a solid team.
It's awesome. I think it's super cool. I think that's really important too, especially as a business owner, to like have that with your employees. I think that's amazing.
It's hard to stay open. Like it's really, that's what's helped and challenge me is somebody actually to challenge me. I don't know if maybe it's more the male thing too. I'll bet you it's probably some of it where I never got that before.
Yeah.
Right, women, not that they're timid or anything, but it's different.
Yeah,
and
men
have a different interaction.
Different energy,
so I need that. I needed that.
Yeah.
So I'm thanking you for that.
Yeah.
So you're with our team.
Yes.
You're ready to go. What's your first one tomorrow? Are you ready?
I am. I have their design already in my iPad. I think I'm as ready as I'm gonna be, and I think tomorrow I'm just gonna do my thing, not gonna let it wig me out too much. Today was weird because I was scheduling appointments and people were paying me their deposit, and I'm like, oh, it's like I'm giving you a service or something.
You were 18 years old.
It's kind of crazy.
I don't even get this. Like, I have two of the most talented artists I think there are.
I mean, you're missing the third, but I ain't ready to jump down real quick.
You know what else is funny?
What's that?
All three of you are cancers.
Oh, yeah. Cancer. Shout out.
Cancer gang.
Yeah, Cancer gang. We put C's up.
Is that fucking weird?
Our symbol's the 69.
I really think that's fucking crazy, man.
It is.
I love the energy. I'm blessed to have a beautiful team. I'm living my dream. So I
dig
thank
it.
all
Yeah. For the record, too, I would have checked you, too, if you said that in front of me. Just for the record.
Oh, for sure. How does that go, though? Even when you're singing a song?
You know, I mean, me, I'm not, there's certain words that I jump over, too, right? There's certain words that I jump over. There's certain words that I don't say. Like, I hardly ever say bitch, and I know you throw bitch around all the time, but, you know,
does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just something that I grew up. I've grew up and we don't call homies bitches. Like for me, that's a derogatory, like that's something that isn't said in my hood, you know? or punk, right? We don't call somebody a punk, right? We don't say that shit. So there are things that I wouldn't say in a song, but that's kind of the whole thing, is just that I don't know. I don't know if what it is. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I don't take offense if somebody's singing along with a song.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, because I know your intent, right? It's about somebody's intent, right?
Sure.
It's different if you fucking have a pitchfork and you fucking have the Confederate flag and all this other fucking Southern fucking beliefs and shit, right? It's different if you say that, right? Because then I know your intent isn't to just sing along with a song. You know what I mean? And then first of all, and another thing is like, why would you be playing that artist, right? Right, you subscribe to a culture that, I mean, as much as your favorite rappers are, like Yellow Wolf and guys that are white and things like that, it's still a black culture. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think that's where it kind of that's kind of the thing with it. But I wanted to ask you, your first tattoo's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And everybody here has had a first tattoo except me. But how do you like? Do you do the fake skin first? Do you do the design first, or is it like, yo, this is one shot, here you go?
I mean, I practiced on fake skin for a minute, and then we moved to real skin. Like, I did your tattoo.
I was the first one on real skin he did.
Yeah.
Did a great job. It's healed. It's fine.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Oh,
You did a great job.
Sweet.
That's the main test right there.
Word. Yeah.
Right? If you can handle me and my nerve, like, you're good to go.
Yeah, and then I just practiced on myself for a minute, and I mean, Jade, since day one, she's like, trust your fucking stencil. Trust the stencil. And I'm like, okay. So it's like ingrained in my head to just like trust the stencil. And it's definitely a lot different of a process, because like when I'm in Procreate, I can fucking like undo, like redo. Like if I'm painting, I can just paint over it. Like tattoos is like one and done. And I definitely have thought about like some tattoos. I'm like, I think I should practice on fake skin with that first. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think that will really change much.
Yeah, it almost makes you have bad habits.
For sure.
So that's definitely just a mechanics thing. In my teaching, in my apprenticing, mentoring, it's mechanics of the machine and how things are working, right?
Absolutely.
Your very first day, your very first tattoo, every fucking thing fell apart.
Oh, yes.
Everything.
That was fuck.
He got
I
all,
was so mad.
tell him about that quick.
That's another time I was frustrated too, because I had my little station all set up. She was all perfect and pretty, good to go, and everything just fucking went wrong. My cord decided to stop working. I was like, okay, I'll go fuck myself then.
Dropped a whole stack of towels.
Oh my god, there's like these little like towels that we used to like shake up the ink bottles. My ass fucking dropped all of them. I dropped a glove, and I was like, okay.
Anything and everything that could stack up from tattooers would know it all went bad.
It was definitely like, I was like, okay, well, fuck.
And then in the middle of that storm, you just cruised right through it.
Yeah, I think after a minute of just like getting used to like real skin, it was like, oh, okay. And now I'm just like learning how to like either draw back in certain areas or push more, or just feeling it out. And that's just how I am with art. Like usually the first time it's always chaotic. Like the first time I oil painted was fucking chaotic.
Sure, you got to learn it.
Yeah, dude. But after I kind of got like that process going of like, okay, yeah, that's how I kind of do things. I think I kind of got it down a little bit more with it when I tattooed Aaron. That was weird. That was so weird.
It's hard to tattoo people you love, man.
It is. I know Jade was telling me how the first couple of times she went home sick because she just was like, I'm fucking hurting people.
It sucks.
And I just like, we went out to lunch and I was like, I told him, I was like, I feel sick to my stomach right now. I'm like hurting you. And he was like, I asked for it. Whatever, dude. Like, and it's a weird thing. And like, when I first tattooed you, I remember you always telling me too, like, you feel their energy and you pick up on that. I really picked up on yours immediately. Once I placed that needle into your skin, I was like, isn't
that crazy?
It is crazy.
It can drain you or it can make you go too. It goes both ways.
Absolutely.
Did Junior flinch?
No.
Hard ass. You hard ass. You such a hard ass.
Definitely. I act hard.
There's definitely some moments where he'd be like, fuck, are you almost done? And I'm like, and I was like, and he's like, nah, I'm just playing. I'm like, oh. I'm like, I don't want to be hurting you or anything.
You did a great job, man.
Thank you.
You did a good job. And there's only one way to learn this craft, and that's do it.
Yeah, it's definitely.
The fake skin teaches you some bad fucking habits.
It does. It does.
It's hard to get it in. That's just good mechanics. You're there, man. You're there.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I posted, so I made my Instagram post, and I wanted to put like what I've done, like in that post, so I can be like, this is what I've done. Like I'm new, so like this is what I've done so far. And I was surprised people really liked the stuff.
Why are you surprised?
Well, because I'm like, I have that artist mentality. I'm like, well, I could have done this line better. Like that definitely was like, but people were like, this is cool, dude. And I was like, oh, this is like such a like opposite response of what I was expecting to get. And yeah, I just been responding to people, scheduling. That's a whole other ball game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how Jade and Erica do it, because some people I'm like, so do you want the appointment or?
Dude, get him to help you. That's what I do. With all that shit, if he can do, that's incredible. Because wait till you see the whirlwinds coming at you. You have no idea, bro.
Dude,
you're not gonna be able to even think straight.
It's crazy. I was like at work responding to people just because I'm like, I need to get that response because you keep taking, like this person keeps taking forever to respond. So I like was try to like steer the conversation and be like, hey, like, do you want to get an appointment? Like this one girl, she was being like, that sounds like it should work. And I'm like, okay, but do you like want the time slot?
There you go.
Because I require a deposit. And she hasn't responded to me. And I asked my sister, because she's a business owner, I was like, what do you do? And I was like, how do you run a business? Like, and give me the short answer.
Just like you do it just like you do.
She just is like,
just say it.
She says, with clients, I always follow up. So you probably want to do that. And so I was like, okay. So it's definitely a lot different because I'm just like I have full control of everything. I'm like, this is so weird. I've never had that.
And you're 18, bro.
And I'm 18.
It's crazy to
weird.
see.
It's weird.
It's a cool dynamic. Jade is something. Don't take your eyes off of her.
I won't.
She will. That kid has grown. Oh, fucking wow! It is beautiful to watch you guys go, man.
Even just like talented. Sitting and learning from her. I think I'm like, what? How do you do? She makes it look so easy, and it's like, I'm like, how the fuck are you doing this? That doesn't make sense.
That is just her. It's her personality. It's her everything. It's ridiculous. You're gonna be the same way.
Homegirl's over there crossing her legs. She's all comfy. She's like, yeah, whatever. You want that? Cool.
With her weird chair. Do you still have the weird chair?
She sits on the wiener chair.
The wiener chair. Is that what you guys call it?
That saddle fucking chair.
Oh, I think that's the one I'm sitting on now. So I guess I have the wiener chair. Speaking
of wiener chairs, what does Aaron? What does the family think about like your profession?
Oh, it's been a bit of like a mixed kind of like, I guess, review of like my new profession. I think a lot of my family understands it, but not like completely. I know my grandma definitely doesn't understand it. She does not speak any English, nor does she understand tattoos like at all. She told me like they were gonna give me cancer, and I was like, that's not true. But
how about mom and dad?
My dad thinks it's really cool. Actually, I hear him because he's like talking to people all day, and I hear him like talking about how I do tattoos now, and he thinks it's super cool. My mom, she thinks it's really cool too. She doesn't really understand it quite yet. I think it's just the Latin culture.
You have a understanding family, man. That's cool.
It is really cool. It's a lot more understanding because I know a lot of other Latin cultures like they're really into the church and like religion, and so my family really. My dad is a pagan. And my mom hates organized. Holla. My mom hates organized religion too. So it's a good combo to be raised in.
So when's dad coming to get the devil on him?
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. He wants a like skull astronaut thing.
Does he have any tattoos?
Yeah. He's probably the reason why I wanted to do tattoos actually. Because he always just had tattoos. He has his sleeve almost done, and then he has on his chest and like kind of on his back a little bit.
You gotta get him in here.
I know.
Let's do it.
I told him, I said, he sent me this cool idea. I'm like, and then we can like do this and that. And I was like super excited.
That's cool, man.
That is cool.
And then you're like, get on my calendar. So are you booking or not, Dad?
Get on my damn calendar.
This place, like we were searching for somebody for a reason.
Yeah.
We can't keep up with this. It is just
it's a lot.
It's a madhouse. It's very organized, but it's full and it doesn't stop. And I don't even think you have a clue what's coming. It's gonna change your life forever.
I'll just be completely blindsided.
I've watched that kid grow. Like it's gonna flip you upside down.
Yeah.
So be ready for it.
I quit my job today. My last day is the 19th of July, but it was just so weird because I was like, my last day is gonna be the 19th of July. I just can't like do, and I already told my boss, I'm like, I literally can't work here, do tattoos, go to school. And she's like, yeah, cool.
Good.
She's like, I want a tattoo from you, and I'm like, cool.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's not a likely response to I'm
so
quitting.
Cool. She's so cool. She's so sad I'm leaving, but since I'm still going to Weber, I'm like, we'll go get coffee and stuff, and she's super cool.
What are you doing at Weber?
I'm going into graphic design, and I kind of want to minor in business. I mean, I started going to college, and so I just want to finish it out. I don't want to drop out or anything. I also had this like weird, like I really love graphic design. I think there's a power behind symbols, and you can change symbols' meanings so quickly, and I think that's really cool. And I really was drawn to that, and then I was also drawn to tattoos, and so I was like, why can't I just do both?
And look at you.
And now I'm trying to do both.
You're doing both. School's so you're gonna have to be careful with your schedule. School's gonna get hard.
Yeah,
it's gonna get. Connor, we're gonna need cocaine or meth.
Allegedly.
That's a joke, Connor. I don't even know what that shit looks like.
Like I don't even know. Either.
I do. It's white. That's cocaine.
You can't say that.
Comes in the powder form. You get it for about $35 right now.
8 ball.
Yeah.
Do you feel welcome here?
I do. It's never, every time I come, it's never unwelcoming. I've never felt that. And I think that's really cool. And I think it's super cool that it's just this open space we can have with each other, especially because we're so close to each other. Like all of it, like not just like emotionally, but like physically, like in the shop, we are very like right there. And so I think that's super cool.
That's why portfolio was part of it.
Yeah, portfolio is
mostly I want to know if I can deal with the person.
Do they smell good, right? That's the number one test. Do they smell good? You can't be in the studio stinky.
Hygiene is a big thing in tattooing, man.
Absolutely.
Do you guys are three of you guys up there at the same time doing the thing? Oh yeah, you guys are really close then.
Yep.
And that studio's full, and it
smells so good.
It's
Thank you, Erica. Straight up. Erica makes that shit smell. Every time Aaron would walk in here, he's like, it smells so nice in here. And I'm like, yeah.
She does. That woman holds it down, man.
A stinky person here, Erica will be the first on site.
For sure.
She's like spraying Febreze on them.
Get out.
Get out.
We don't accept that stinkiness.
Get out.
It comes here and there, but not very often. That's the beauty about here is we're doing the no walk-in, right? It's all appointment only.
Absolutely.
We know who's coming pretty much.
Yeah.
You kind of get a cycle going there.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we're glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
I think young people anybody can take from it what they will, but persistence is a big thing.
It is.
And believe in you no matter what the fuck you are or what's going on.
And that's a lot easier said than done too, because I mean, when you're showing people your art, like a lot of art kids go through this process of being super shy and like super like shy about their artwork, and I totally feel because I was like that too.
Yeah.
And so like every art kid's nightmare, I feel like, is like when you're showing your pieces to the class, you're like, I don't want to do that. Like that is the last thing I want to do. Like I don't want to show anybody my piece. I just want my teacher to see it.
It's so funny.
It's weird
because it's you. Nobody else could do that.
Yeah,
I think it's so cool. Your style's super unique too. I don't even know what the hell it even. You're just you.
I don't know.
I like that. We're all very different.
I think and I think it's cool that you guys do everything, like, and so I think that's really commendable because a lot of artists stick to a style. That
I struggle with for sure. It's fine to master something. I think it's fine. I think that's just staying comfortable and it's getting in a lane is all that is. We do anything that walks through the door, man, and I think you're a perfect fit for that. This is way more people work than it is anything else.
Oh, absolutely. Like I don't like when I was tattooing Aaron, I was like, how does Jade and Junior just talk to these people without getting like zoned in on what they're doing? Because when I'm painting or doing art, I'm always alone.
Yeah.
It's never like in public with people unless I was like in art class, but even then I'd have my headphones in and I wouldn't be like talking to anyone.
Dude, it's weird.
Weird.
This craft is so bizarre to those that have never done it.
It's
getting one's one thing, but doing it's the hardest thing you'll do.
Yeah, it's like learning how to do art again. I told my dad that. I'm like, it's straight up like I'm learning how to do art all over again because I'm having it's my profession now, so I am like having to learn to communicate with people, do my art, think, like, but it's on a person and it's on them forever. So it's like that pressure, added pressure, and then it's a lot.
And there's no wondering, was like they're talking. That thing walks out the door and starts selling you one way or another.
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck that guy, or he's awesome. Like,
absolutely,
there's no way around it. It's so cool. So it's cool that you see that. Like, it's an intense thing to do, man. Once you start cranking them out, you're made for it.
I would hope so.
You got it.
And if I'm not, I'll make myself for it. Build myself for
there's
it.
gonna be lots of ups and downs, but it's all good, man.
Yeah.
What do you see you're starting your brand? I mean, your brand is starting tomorrow. So where do you see your brand? Like, where do you want to take your brand?
I like to keep a lot of my like pictures. I like to keep very simple, but I think I definitely see my brand in a lot of things, and I kept it really simple because I think that would make it easier to make it into other things as well, alongside tattooing, like graphic design or owning a business, or like just having my own personal brand where it's just me and my artwork, and it just speaks for itself instead of having like these like, you know, I know some artists like really over edit their pieces and like really just make that like the editing the really like the main focus of their whole piece. I really just want to keep my brand super simple, clean. I think that would best represent how I'd want to go about things.
And we don't edit here. I won't even allow it. Like, if I know you're doing it, we don't do that. We let all the pink skin, all the irritation. Everybody listening, it's out there. We put it out exactly the way it comes in. So I think it's just to show people what's going on. I think that's beautiful, man. Yeah. So what's your end goal? Do you have I know it's all a whirlwind, but
I
when I was 18, I wasn't fucking trying to think.
I definitely, for now, my end goal is I just would like to own my own business and just do what I do best, which I feel like is art and talking to people.
What's your business?
I have no clue right now. I figure it out. I eventually want to do like a graphic design type business alongside tattoos, and kind of just have it be like the same company but like different. I have no clue yet. I just really am trying to just get into tattoos right now and graduate college. That's like my main goals right now. Definitely like my 5-year plan is just to get those out of the way, so then I can really figure out like how I want to like take things.
It's gonna be a wild ride.
It is.
I can't wait. I think I already see what's coming at you. So it's never what you expect. I know that. We think it's one thing and it's another.
Absolutely.
So I hope someday that you can run your own everything.
Yeah, and that would be super cool.
And I can definitely help guide you in that direction for sure.
I mean, this might be premature, and I hate this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. But have you and Aaron ever thought about, like, are you guys like think about family stuff? Is that something that you guys would want?
No, not really. I think just because we're so like early on in our relationship, I mean, we've talked about like if we want kids or not, which my answer is no right now because I'm 18. So I'm like, no, I can barely take care of myself, let alone some other person. I want my sister to have kids because then I can just hand it back to her once I'm done hanging out with them.
Right.
Whatever gender it pops.
So you're not an uncle yet?
No.
Oh man.
She has dogs. So
how old is she?
I think she's 30.
30
I don't want to say like she's older because then she'll like rip my head off, but
in the 30 area.
In the 30 area, early 30s. Yeah, so
that's cool, man.
She's like very business oriented. Very business oriented.
Hook up with her. Start up a thing, man.
She is very like, I want my business and my career to be in line before I even think about having kids. And then she also took care of me and my brother, so she's like, I don't fucking want kids.
Over the kids.
She's like, I'm over the fucking kids.
They're a lot of work, bro.
They are.
He got a new one. That's a lot of work. God, a cute one too. Holy shit, his kid. You see the pictures of that little shit?
I think you showed me.
Find one.
Yeah, please show me.
Oh my god, dude, this kid needs to be. If there were a magazine of some sort with any kind of a contest or anything, he would smoke it, no problem.
Oh my god, I have seen that picture.
Yeah, dude,
that's baby Anaya.
Oh my god,
that's my baby.
She's so cute.
Dude, her eyes are like this big.
They're huge. I love
big
that.
as her mom's. That's why I got with her mom. Her mom got me at the.
Amazing.
I tell everybody her mom had me at first dirty look. First dirty look, she had me.
I love it.
First dirty look.
So was
That's
it you? Did you lock it down with Aaron, or did Aaron lock you down?
It was kind of a game at first a little bit. It was kind of like I was the one that was like, hey, I'm interested, and then it just didn't really work out. And then the second time around, he was the one that actually was the one that reached out to me. And then I kept it very vague on their first date. I was like, let's hang out. And he's like, okay, let's go watch the sunset. And I'm like, okay, so I think this is a date.
God damn it, the sunset.
My friend was like, you're going to go make out with this boy. And I did. So now a year later, we still are. So
Do you think you guys will go on? And
I think so.
dude, I'm getting my thing. I can marry you. What's it called?
Ordained.
You're getting ordained?
Yeah, that thing.
Oh,
So I can marry you guys.
so you could. You'd have to fight my friend Miley on it. She
Bring her on.
fixed it. I will.
No, I'm just kidding.
She was like, I'm marrying you too. And I was
Done.
like, okay.
Done.
You can marry
Okay,
us.
sorry.
Okay.
Is that in your future, you think?
I definitely think so.
Kind of said that, but yeah.
I
Cool.
think so. I really love him. It's
That's
weird.
so cute. Why isn't he here? We just slap him.
He has homework he has to do. He's taking summer school. He's a lot more motivated in school.
Nerd.
What is he gonna do? He does film photography.
Yeah, so he's going into digital media.
You guys are lined right up, bro.
Dude, he's going into digital media, and like it's like some like super pretentious way he puts it. He hates telling people it because it sounds so pretentious. He's like, that's just like what it is. It's like digital media with like a concentration on like videography.
Dope.
I think so. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me, but I think I just know it's like having to do with videos and like learning how to like market. Oh, I think it's an emphasis on marketing.
So is he going to school too?
Yeah, he
At Weber too?
Mm-hmm.
So-
He's a lot more of a motivated student than I am. He was like, I'm taking summer school, and I was like, fuck that.
You can tattoo now.
I said, I'm just gonna fucking tattoo and work.
You'll be the sugar daddy, trust me.
I would hope so. I hope he can be my sugar daddy too.
You guys sound like you're gonna sail, man. You're gonna have it coming at you quick.
We're both definitely very passionate people, and I think that's awesome.
Where do you live at? Do you live with your parents still?
Yeah, I'm living in their basement, which sounds like so weird, but I'm just living in their basement, and I'm trying to move out and like do my own thing. But I was like, I need to get my tattoos in order first before I can even like think.
Dude,
about
I
doing
wished
that.
I was that put together. I mean, I had just hit the road when I was your age and
Yeah.
just was working like crazy, but it looks like to me you're stacking things up nice,
Mhm.
man.
I'm really trying to like have it nice and organized so that I'm not fucking hating myself in the future. I'm like, damn, why the fuck did I do that?
Well, good luck with that organization. I love it. I need that in my life because I don't have it.
Yeah, I feel.
But you're doing what I did at 40 and you're 18. So that says a lot.
Thank you.
Have you? I mean, oh yeah, you do. You're working somewhere currently, right?
Yeah.
Was that your first job?
No, my first job was at Crumble Cookies.
Crumble.
Fuck.
Oh man, that's bad news.
Yeah, bro.
That's
Diabetes right there.
Yeah, exactly. They had one of my homegirls. It was her last day at the bar, and you would think it's her last day, so we should do something nice for her. No, she brought us Crumble cookies.
Oh.
She's such a sweetheart. It was awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a bad job, man.
It was. I mean, I liked it because it was a good high school job. They paid me weekly. Like I could just be like, I can't come in today, and they were just like, okay, get someone to cover you. And so like a lot of the people at Northridge, because it was like right next to Northridge, a lot of like people that work there went to Northridge. So I'd be like in the hall. I'm like, dude, can you cover my shift today? And they're like, yes.
Had a whole school full of
I know. I was like,
employees.
can you cover my shift? Can you cover my shift? That shit. Oh my god. Looking back, I'm like, that shit sucked. But it was
You ain't got nobody to cover your shift no more.
no more.
Now you gotta, it's time to fly now.
Yeah.
I've noticed, man, with you here, you're, I don't know where you've learned all that, but you're very punctual. You're here. You're ready to go.
I try my best.
So wherever that comes from, keep that going. You're gonna get out of this what you put into it, and
Absolutely.
I think you see that.
Yeah, and I think it also helps too that you guys start like at 11, because that's normally when I'm like awake. Because if I wake up too early, I'm like, fuck, I can't do this.
You'll start needing that sleep. You'll see. We burn the midnight oil around here.
Yeah. I'm not. I like that it's at 11 because then I could wake up like a little earlier and then like get my day going, and then by the time I'm here, it's like I'm punctual.
Yep.
I know exactly what I need to do, so it's really nice. I dig it.
I think it's gonna work out good, man. It's definitely what we're headed for. So
Yeah.
If you want to ride, hang on, because here we go.
I'm super hyped. I'm like,
How? Anybody got anything? Anybody? Holla. We got a beautiful audience.
I asked all my questions. I think that it's cool. I think that I've seen a lot in the whatever year, probably about a year now.
When is your,
since we started.
Yeah, we got to figure that out one day.
Something like that. I think it's been about a year. Yeah, it has
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's been
50
close.
something episodes.
This is 50.
3, 2?
Yeah, this. I mean, technically, this is 53.
Yeah.
But yeah, a year.
Cool.
Year we've been doing this. And I've seen a lot of people grow. I've seen Jade grow. I've seen all of us grow, really. And to see you kind of be the addition, I think it's cool. I think it'll be a really good matchup. And your energy's cool. And, I hope that it can continue. I was going to ask you, you mentioned in your portfolio, you mentioned your Pride design. We're in June. It's Pride Month. Absolutely. What does that mean to you?
I think a lot of people like to see Pride as just this thing where you just are out and partying and just being gay. And as much as
partying and being gay.
Out partying and being fucking gay. But I see a lot more to it. I think it's there because I saw this post the other day and it totally, I was like, that is exactly what I think Pride is. And I think Pride is important because there are people out there who think instead of being themselves, they'd rather be dead. And they'd rather not live their truest selves. And I think having pride in yourself is the coolest thing. And so that's how I see Pride. And I think having the month where you can see people living their best life, like partying, that's fun and dandy. But there's also a lot of infographics that come out at this time where they talk about problems and they talk about and give positive affirmations to those people. And I think that's such a good thing.
I think it's way more accepted than it ever has been.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's cool, man. I've never been around any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hardly, really. It wasn't around when we were younger, man. It was just weird. It's just a different thing. It's cool. I think it was around, but it wasn't as known.
It was just hush hush.
Right. It's weird. I way prefer people being who the fuck they are.
Absolutely.
Because God knows I am. I am, and I get in trouble for it. Cool. I piss people off with it. It's okay. I don't. Yeah. I mean nothing by it. We've crossed these things, and I think that's important. We stomped it out quick and early, and there's not one single thing in the world you can't bring to me. Not one. You truly grow. I think when you are yourself, you're growing, and I think a lot of people like to say that, oh, you're different now than back then, and it's like you're supposed to be different. You're supposed to grow as a person and be who you truly are authentically, and a lot of people like to say unapologetically. I think it's like a learning process. Sure. If you want to be a good person, you definitely have to be receptive to others. And I think totally it's when you're closed off, you create a narrow-mindedness. Yeah. Yeah. So well, I'm glad we got through all that in there. I think we're on to some stuff here. I think so too. For sure.
It's always bizarre to me too, because in my childhood in Portland, it wasn't taboo. My best friend Antoine, he's gay. Really? It wasn't nothing. So even with the titles, there was no titles. Just yo, Antoine and John are they're gonna come kick it. You know what I mean?
Word.
There was for me being I guess if you want to throw titles in ally, it's it's almost just second nature. It's just just something you do, right? Right. It's just the right thing to do. If who am I to fucking cast judgment over somebody else who loves somebody else? Oh, for sure. Or because somebody might not, they're going through a transition, whatever the case may be. I don't know all the terminology and shit like that, but for me, Pride Month is a month for me to be this is awareness on somebody else's struggle, right? Absolutely. Where somebody else would rather die than to come out as whatever they are. Yeah. And so for me, I love when people are who they are and they do it in a way where it's not hurting anybody, and it goes further than just a sexual orientation, I guess, or for sure. Whatever that terminology is. Mm-hmm. The same way that I would love somebody to stand up for me just being a black man in America. You know what I mean? I would love for somebody, if some shit's going down, we need to speak up. You know what I mean? No matter what the situation is.
Yeah. I think so too. And I think being in the LGBTQIA plus community.
Whoa, it grew. How is it? How is it?
So it goes LGBTQIA plus.
IA.
So the
See, I didn't know that.
So the I is for intersex, which is where you're both genders, and then the A is for asexual.
Both genders?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
People are born with both genders, and I mean,
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's I didn't know about it either, and I'm in the community, and I took my women and gender study class, and we actually had a whole section on it, and it's called intersex, where you are born with both genitalia, and whether that be like your ovaries or testes, or like you just have a vagina and a penis. And
Both?
Yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of parents at birth will like choose, and so, but they showed us the story of this man who his parents chose female, but he was like, I'm a man. So he transitioned back to being a man. So it's, and it's true. Like, I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about things, and I'm like, why?
I'll tell you why, from my experience.
For sure.
Because look what all just happened here even tonight. Like, terminologies and words and things. People get so, especially me, I'll just say things, right? And I don't know the term. I don't know the.
For sure.
And like you guys say, it comes from, you got to know the person. Like if I'm talking out in public, somebody that may not know me might be like, fuck that guy's whatever. When I'm truly, I don't understand, so I shouldn't speak to it, right? That's kind of what I'm trying to learn here. But that's why a lot of us don't talk about it. We're scared, I think, speaking for people, scared to say the wrong fucking words, man. And say the wrong gender word or the wrong race word. Good God, it's a word, man. If I told you up there, if I was racist, I would be leading the fucking thing. I would be the boss. I would fucking be the charge. I'm that guy. I don't have a stitch of that in my body. For sure. I don't hate anything. I don't hate anybody that's anything, man. I like people just who to be who they are, right? So I think that's probably the most of it is some people are really nervous to say the wrong shit because people fire back quick. Is that because I'm this? And it's like, wow, fuck, man.
I think, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to offend you at all. I'll just punch you right in the fucking face. I'm not afraid of that. Yeah. I meant no harm by what I said there. I'm very sorry I did that, right? So I wonder if that's some of it.
I think, too, like a lot of people aren't willing to admit that they are ignorant to certain topics. I always am like, I'm super ignorant to that topic, like to preface everything. I'm like, I'm really ignorant about that. And I always ask like what their viewpoint on it is. And I just always make it a growing moment. And I think you do that awesomely. I think when people come back at you like that, you're like, oh, I'm not trying to offend you. I don't know the terminology. Like that's a step further than I feel like a lot of people are taking. I feel like a lot of people are taking like, they don't want to they don't want to admit that they're ignorant to certain things about people, and as hard as it is, you kind of have to learn how to do that because you never learned anything, and your willingness to be open and your willingness to learn and your willingness to listen and be like, oh, I don't know what that is, like what's that, and like be inquisitive. That's a lot, and I think that's a really good step that you're taking, and I think it's a really good step everybody could take, even myself. At times, I feel like everybody can relate to needing to do that. And like, if I'm ignorant about something, I'm like, I'm fucking ignorant about that. Can you please explain? Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't do that. And they just would rather admit that they're right instead of that ego thing.
And I'm totally the opposite of that.
Absolutely.
I think it comes off the other way, but I'm actually way open to everything.
Absolutely.
Which is hard for me. I'm in a weird little spot right there because I come from a very aggressive world. And I'm trying to, this is good for me because it's like putting it in reverse. Yeah. I'm watching every word, all the stupid shit I say. So many dudes out there in the world, that's fucking so gay, bro. And I'll automatically turn and say, my bad. And you'll smile. It's so funny, but it's on my mind, man, because it's really, truly stupid. And I think a lot of us do it and don't think that we do. I'll just say I do it. I don't care. I'll admit anything. I'm not a word guy. I just about what I'm about. And it's, trying and really giving it mind is powerful for sure.
It's having empathy. And I think a lot of people who are on the defense and turn around and immediately are like, is that because, and they go on the defense because they have to be on the defense, and people who can't admit that they're right have to be on the defense as well. And so I think it's easier to just immediately come to that understanding. And if you're on the teaching side or the receiving side, I think it's good to have an openness. It's good to, instead of being attacking and instead of being like, fuck you, like, why did you say that? I think it's better to just be like, well, man, that's not actually okay. Like, and then like just educate them and be like, that's why people don't appreciate that. Yeah. And so I think we need, as a society as a whole, we definitely could learn to do that and educate others rather than chastise them
Yeah.
for like making a mistake.
Yeah, and if coming from a man's standpoint, that was hard for me. That was very hard for me, which I knew so I knew I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I want to deal with it or not deal with it. I just was like, fuck, that pissed me off. If it's hard for me, I'm going to go right at it, right?
Yeah.
So I guarantee you I'm going to do more of these things throughout the thing. So hang on best you can. Same with everybody in the room. Like, I just speak, and I don't, I even just, it comes out. I don't even think about it, right? I speak in real time, and it gets me in trouble a little bit. Yeah. But I mean no harm by it. It's who I am, and I'm proud to be who I am, right? That's what you do, right? Absolutely. So I'm doing the same thing.
For sure.
But I'm a little more put in the corner with it sometimes. But people can say it's lack of whatever. I don't even care what anybody thinks about it. It's just who I am. So it's obviously working somehow. We're doing okay.
I think so.
What else you got?
I don't know. I think I just am really excited to be a part of the team in a more like productive way and kind of pull my weight a little bit more, because over these past months I feel like I've been like a little bit in the way just because I'm learning, but I'm really excited to like get clients and be able to like give it back a little bit at least. So
everything you did was exactly what needed to happen.
Yeah.
To get you where you're going.
I think so too. I think everything happens for a reason, and I think that's super awesome.
Totally. And anything forced is just that, right? We learned this. Don't force it, man. There's no need. Something's wrong if you're forcing something. Something's not lined up. It's like, for sure. Chill out. That's hard for me to say, but it's real. So teaching you that taught me that again. Like, calm down.
Yeah. I think we all have moments where we're like, just aren't really like, you're like, oh, fuck. And you just get angry, because that's a natural emotion. I think a lot of people like to emphasize love and light when you have dark moments too.
Absolutely.
Embracing those is just as important as embracing your love and light side, and being able to admit your wrongs, and like when you're angry or whatever. I think that's really important. And I think with we have such an open space, and I'm always more than willing to educate you on anything, just like you're more than willing to educate me on stuff. And I think that's super awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we did really well.
We didn't hit your socials. What's your socials where people can follow you?
So my Instagram is Connor moo _art.
Moo, as in moo, cow.
Yeah,
I love that.
Is that what Aaron calls you? His little moo?
No.
Where's moo come from?
I just have it on my thing. I don't even read it.
I like, instead of making my last name Marshall because I think it's too long, I just like make it Moon because I like the moon.
Well, I said moo, moon.
Well, it's moo because the underscore is like
gotcha.
where the N is supposed to be, but like that name was taken already, so I just was like, I'll just make it an underscore.
God damn it.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, I think we got it. Thanks for everything, man. Absolutely. And hang on, everybody. Be good to each other. Remember, the most important thing we do in this life is what we do with our life. Stay creative.